The story begins with curiosity and a deep passion for the ball. A story that evolved into the tale of a rare talent, trapped in a body that felt too small for his dreams. It's the story of a young boy with immense ability, striving not just to prove himself to the world, but also to earn the love and respect of the country he left behind to chase those dreams. This is the story of how Lionel Messi's career began, and how he rose from obscurity to stand atop the world of football. Lionel Messi, the early years, a journey beyond limits. In the province of Santa Fe, in the bustling city of Rosario, Lionel Messi began his journey into football at a very young age. He often played alongside his older brothers, Rodrigo and Matias. At just 5 years old, he joined the local youth team Grandoli. Even then, it was clear. His acceleration, his footwork, and his dribbling set him apart. Most coaches at that level focused on teaching teamwork and passing. But Messi broke those expectations. He played with instinct and freedom. Over 2 years with Grandoli, his team won every match. At every training session, Lionel showed up with discipline and focus. Gonzalo Diaz, a teammate at Grandoli, recalled that while many kids had talent, few had the perseverance and work ethic Messi possessed. That came from his father, Jorge, who had a clear philosophy: work hard, stay humble, and be consistent, and you achieve anything. Jorge was more than a father. He was also Lionel's second coach and his biggest influence. He filled their home with VHS tapes of Maradona, helping Leo visualize greatness. Journalist Guillaume Balaguer later wrote in Messi's biography that Jorge was Lionel's hero, his guide, his mentor, and someone he trusted completely. Jorge's decision to move Lionel to one of Argentina's top youth clubs, Newell's Old Boys, marked a turning point. Messi became a key part of a legendary youth squad, later called the Machine of '87. One player's father claimed that Messi scored nearly 100 goals each season. By the time he left the club, Leo had reportedly scored close to 500 goals between 1994 and 2000. But despite his talent, trouble was ahead. At age 10, Lionel's parents followed the advice of a Newell's director and took him to see a specialist. Compared to other children his age, Leo was noticeably smaller, about 10 centimeters shorter than average. In January 1997, they met with Dr. Diego Schwartzstein. It took 6 months to receive a diagnosis: a partial growth hormone deficiency. Starting in January 1998, Leo had to inject himself daily with biosynthetic growth hormones. It was expensive, costing between $1,000 and $1,500 a month. Luckily, Jorge's job at a government-owned steel company provided insurance that covered the costs for the first 2 years. However, by the late 1990s, Argentina's economy was deteriorating rapidly. When the insurance support ended, Jorge found himself unable to cover the treatment alone. He reached out to Newell's for help. The club president, Sergio Almiron, sent some financial support, but it was inconsistent. Jorge asked for more, but the club fell silent. Desperate, Jorge took Lionel to a trial with River Plate, hoping it would pressure Newell's into action. But River, too, declined to fully cover the treatment. With options dwindling, Jorge faced a heartbreaking choice: leave Argentina in search of an opportunity that could change his son's life forever. At the time, many Argentine families were emigrating due to the financial crisis. Young footballers were seen as potential assets, and for Jorge and Lionel, the risk was worth it. After the River Plate trial, Jorge connected with Horacio Gagioli, a football agent who had ties to the famous Catalan agent Josep Maria Minguella. Minguella had previously facilitated Diego Maradona's transfer to Barcelona in 1982. Gagioli requested footage of Lionel and sent it to Minguella's office. Minguella, in turn, contacted his friend and then Barcelona sporting director Carlos Rexach. Moved by the footage and Messi's story, Rexach wanted to organize a trial in Spain. So, in the year 2000, Jorge and young Lionel flew to Barcelona. Leo trained intensely at the trial and impressed the coaches. But the club's response was cautious. No official decision came. When Rexach returned from the Olympics and finally saw Messi train in person, he was convinced. He urged the club to sign him immediately. Still, doubts lingered inside the institution. Who would take responsibility for this young boy and his father, who had left their homeland for a mere chance? Success was far from guaranteed, and yet, history would show it was one of the greatest gambles ever made in sports. Later, Jorge and young Leo returned to Argentina in early October, after Lionel had missed too many school days in Spain. Several factors caused Barcelona to delay Messi's signing. First, Leo was a small foreign kid, just 13 years old. La Masia's directors at the time preferred local players who were 15 or 16. Second, FIFA regulations required the club to find employment for Jorge and meet strict guardianship rules, which complicated the process. Jorge also wanted his son to live in an apartment outside La Masia's dormitories. Third, the club was going through its own issues. After the departure of superstar Luis Figo, Barcelona was dealing with turmoil in its first team. Signing a 13-year-old foreign player wasn't exactly a top priority, especially with the additional costs of Messi's hormone treatments and private accommodations. As weeks passed and frustration grew, Rexach came up with a creative solution. In the presence of Josep Minguella and Horacio Gaggioli at Pompeia Tennis Club, Rexach signed a napkin stating that he was committed to signing Messi as previously agreed, regardless of opposition. That one line, regardless of opinions on the contrary, hinted at internal resistance from within the board. It was a symbolic move, but a vital one. Finally, in January 2001, Barcelona's president, Joan Gaspart, approved the deal. All of Jorge's conditions were accepted. Messi was officially a Barcelona player, but the road ahead was still far from smooth. Shortly after, Lionel broke his left fibula in only his second match. 2 months later, he returned, only to suffer an ankle injury. To make things harder, Leo's mother had to return to Argentina with his siblings. Living in Catalonia proved too difficult for them. For Leo, it was a crossroads. Either go back with his family or stay in Spain with his father and continue chasing the dream. He chose to stay. With his focus back on football, Messi threw himself into training. Mentally and physically, he began to evolve. His coaches watched in amazement as he grew nearly 29 centimeters in just a few months. Leo was alone in a foreign land, missing home and friends. But that loneliness sharpened his resolve. During the 2001 to 2002 season, he played with Barcelona's Junior B team, alongside future stars like Cesc Fabregas and Gerard Piqué. The next season, under coach Alex Garcia, Messi thrived. He played every match and finished as the top scorer. Though often tested in different positions, Leo favored playing centrally, just behind the striker. The team won everything. Even though scouting wasn't as advanced back then, word about Messi's brilliance spread. Arsenal's Spanish representative, Francis Cagagal, was so impressed he contacted Jorge and sent an offer. Arsenal wanted to sign Messi, but legal hurdles and Messi's preference for staying in Barcelona blocked the moves. Arsenal did manage to sign Fabregas, but not Leo. Meanwhile, Barcelona's first team was in disarray. They had their worst league finish in 15 years. President Gaspart resigned and a new board took over. The club needed change, and they knew they had a gem in the youth ranks. Messi signed a new contract in 2003, valid through 2012. His release clause? 30 million euros. That number would jump to 80 million euros if he made it to Barcelona B, and to 150 million euros if he cracked the first team. In the 2003-2004 season, Messi played in 37 matches across various levels. He began with the U19 B team, then moved up to the A squad. His performances caught the eye of first-team manager Frank Rijkaard, who needed youth players for a friendly match against Porto in November. With many first-team players on international duty, Messi was called up. At just 16 years and 145 days old, wearing jersey number 14, he made his unofficial debut in the 75th minute of that match. After returning, he immediately started playing for Barcelona C. 11 matches later, he was promoted to Barcelona B. Messi started bouncing between youth teams, always stepping up to help wherever he was needed. Whether he was playing with peers or against older opponents in Spain's third division, Messi delivered. One day, we went from nothing to everything we had dreamed of. Jorge Messi would later say, at 14, Lionel finished his hormone treatments. The club created a custom strength and conditioning program to help him build muscle and speed. The transformation was noticeable. Still, despite his incredible talent and early debut against Porto, Messi had to wait to become a first-team regular. Barcelona was rebuilding. With stars like Deco, Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, and Xavi emerging, Rijkaard advised patience. Leo began training with the first team regularly. Left back Giovanni van Bronckhorst later revealed that Ronaldinho, after seeing Messi in his first session, turned to him and said, "This kid is going to be better than me." In 2004-2005, Messi became a starter for Barcelona B, still just 17 years old. He often played in a 3-4-3 system as a second striker. Though coaches wanted him to stay wide, Messi always preferred to cut inside and create chances through the middle. Back then, it was almost unheard of for a 16 or 17-year-old to make an official appearance for the first team. But week by week, doubt faded. His skills were undeniable. Nearly a year after his debut against Porto, Rijkaard finally brought Messi back, this time in a real match. In the 82nd minute of a tough La Liga clash against local rivals Espanyol, Messi came off the bench. At 17 years and 4 months, he became Barcelona's youngest ever debutant in an official match. He spent the rest of the season alternating between Barcelona's first and second teams. Even when he sat on the bench, he gained experience by watching and learning from legends. Ronaldinho became his mentor, his big brother. Alongside Deco, Silvinho, and Thiago Motta, Messi found a support system. As Barcelona edged closer to winning the league, Messi got one more shot. In a match against Albacete, he was subbed on in the 88th minute. Ronaldinho found them with a brilliant through ball. Messi scored, but the goal was ruled offside. A minute later, Ronnie tried again. This time, Messi made it count. He chipped the ball over the keeper with calm confidence. And just like that, Lionel Messi had scored his first official goal for FC Barcelona. Barcelona claimed their first La Liga title in 5 years during the 2004-2005 season. Messi only played a total of 70 minutes in the league that year. But he also made his UEFA Champions League debut, playing a full 90 minutes against Shakhtar Donetsk. Then, in the summer of 2005, he represented Argentina in the FIFA U20 World Cup. Despite strong attempts from the Spanish Federation to recruit him, Messi's loyalty to Argentina was unquestionable. He scored 6 goals in the tournament, including 2 in the final against Nigeria, and was named Player of the Tournament. Nike quickly released an ad showcasing Messi's meteoric rise in the football world. The message was simple. A new star had arrived. Everyone expected the 2005-2006 season to be his breakout year in Europe, but complications arose. Argentina's senior team coach, Jose Pekerman, wanted to reward Messi's U20 brilliance with a senior debut in a friendly against Hungary. Unfortunately, Messi's debut was short-lived. he received a red card just minutes after coming on. Meanwhile, the Spanish Football Federation classified Messi as a non-European player, despite his 5 years at La Masia, with Ronaldinho, Marquez, and Eto'o already taking up Barcelona's non-European player slots. Messi was in limbo. Ironically, he had no issue being registered for Champions League play. Barcelona considered loaning him out. Offers poured in, including a serious one from Inter Milan's president, Massimo Moratti. But Messi's performance in a high-profile friendly changed everything. In the Joan Gamper Trophy match against Juventus, Messi dazzled fans and even caught the attention of Juventus' legendary manager, Fabio Capello. After the game, Capello publicly praised Messi's talent, something he rarely did. Moratti's offer to triple Messi's salary was tempting. Jorge Messi discussed it with Barcelona president Joan Laporta. But Laporta reassured him. Barcelona's system was the perfect place for Leo to grow. Finally, in September 2005, Messi received the Spanish citizenship. After missing the first 6 league games, he was cleared to play. He quickly replaced Ludovic Juli on the right wing and even started in the iconic Clásico at the Santiago Bernabéu, where Barcelona thrashed Real Madrid 3-0. Messi scored his first Champions League goal against Panathinaikos and netted his first league goal of the season against Racing Santander. By December, he was named the Golden Boy, beating Wayne Rooney by a wide margin. Despite being only 18, Messi displayed stunning acceleration, sharp dribbling, and a fearless attacking style. But he wasn't perfect. He sometimes held the ball too long, lacked physical strength, and needed to improve his vision in passing. Still, he was clearly on the right track. When Barcelona faced Chelsea in the Champions League round of 16, tensions were high. Messi was brilliant in the first leg at Stamford Bridge, helping get Asia de Horno sent off. But it came at a cost. He tore a thigh muscle. Eager to return, Messi rushed back to training just before the semi-final. He re-injured himself. He recovered again just 2 days before the Champions League final. But Rijkaard and assistant coach Tenkate didn't think he was ready. Messi watched from the stands as Barcelona lifted the Champions League trophy. Initially, he refused to join the celebrations. Later, he admitted he feared he might never play in another European final. Despite the heartbreak, Messi ended the season with 25 appearances and 8 goals. More importantly, he had shown glimpses of greatness. Despite the rough start to his senior international career, Messi became a regular under Peckerman. He was selected for Argentina's 2006 World Cup squad, even though he had missed the Champions League final due to injury. Adidas featured him in massive promotional campaigns around the world, hailing him as the future of football. Not everyone in the squad agreed. There was a quiet divide between the veterans and the new generation. In Argentina's first group match against Ivory Coast, Messi remained on the bench. But in the second game, he came on for the final 15 minutes against Serbia and Montenegro. He assisted 1 goal and scored another in a 6-0 win. He started the third match against the Netherlands, playing 70 minutes in a goalless draw that sent Argentina into the round of 16. In the next match against Mexico, Messi entered in the 84th minute and dazzled in extra time. His performances didn't go unnoticed. Pep Guardiola, then writing opinion pieces, compared Messi to Socrates, the legendary Brazilian playmaker. Then came the controversial quarterfinal against hosts Germany. Messi didn't start. After Argentina went up 1-0 through Roberto Ayala, Germany pushed hard. Their goalkeeper got injured, and Peckerman used 2 subs, one for a backup goalie and one to bring on Cambiaso. He had 1 sub left. Messi was ready, but instead of bringing on the teenager, Peckerman opted for veteran striker Julio Cruz, hoping his height would help defend set pieces. Germany equalized. The game went to penalties. Argentina lost. Peckerman was heavily criticized for not using Messi. Assistant coach Hugo Tacali later said they'd make the same decision again. At that point, Messi was still a teen, but after that match, there was no more debate. Messi was now a guaranteed starter for Argentina. Despite Barcelona's success, trouble was brewing inside the dressing room. Ronaldinho and Deco began to lose discipline. Meanwhile, Messi was focused and hungry to rise. In November, he fractured his left foot and was out for over 2 months. He returned in time for Barcelona's Champions League tie with Liverpool. Reds manager Rafa Benitez deployed Álvaro Arbeloa, his right-footed defender, on the left to neutralize Messi. The plan worked, and Barcelona were eliminated. But in March, Messi got his moment. In a Clásico against Real Madrid at Camp Nou, with Ronaldinho and Eto'o subbed off, Messi stepped up. He scored a stunning hat trick to earn Barcelona a 3-3 draw. Samuel Eto'o said afterward, "For me, Messi is above every other player. He has another gear." At just 19, Messi had arrived, not just as a prodigy, but as a force. Messi was now recognized as more than just a rising talent. He was becoming Barcelona's focal point. His blistering change of pace and control on the ball left defenders chasing shadows, especially in one electrifying Copa del Rey semifinal moment, where he dribbled past half the opposition to score a solo goal, reminiscent of Maradona. Despite his brilliance, head coach Frank Rijkaard warned Messi not to overuse his dribbling. He advised him to preserve energy, focus on the final third, and avoid taking on defenders at every opportunity. As Messi's reputation grew, defenders across La Liga began marking him tighter, often with multiple players. Barcelona's form dipped. Rijkaard benched Messi for the second leg of the Copa del Rey against Getafe, thinking the first leg's 5-2 advantage was enough. But the team was stunned, 4-0, and eliminated. In La Liga, the title slipped from their hands after a dramatic draw with Espanyol and a last-day Madrid victory. Messi's hand-assisted goal, a moment of controversy, sparked fierce debate. Statistically, Messi had his best season yet, 14 goals in La Liga and 17 in all competitions. But the team ended with no major trophies, and the pressure on Ronaldinho and Rijkaard intensified. President Laporta gave them one last chance. International spotlight, Copa América 2007. In the summer, Messi joined Argentina for Copa América 2007, 14 years after their last major title. Messi starred in the group stage and dazzled against Peru in the quarterfinals, scoring a sublime goal through the keeper's legs. In the semifinal, he scored what many called the goal of the tournament against Mexico. Coach Alfio Basile called Messi a genius. All signs pointed to Argentina lifting the trophy. But in the final, Brazil, missing stars like Kaká and Ronaldinho, stunned them with a 3-0 win. Messi wasn't blamed. He had just turned 20. But the crushing defeat haunted senior players like Riquelme. The final chapter under Rijkaard back at Barcelona, the 2007-08 season, began with cautious optimism. Ronaldinho promised a return to form. Thierry Henry joined the squad. On paper, a forward line of Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Henry, and Messi looked unstoppable. But they never played together for even a single minute. Injuries, discipline issues, and a divided locker room broke the season's rhythm. Rijkaard couldn't regain control. Messi, meanwhile, was rising, but often asked to stay wide and wait for chances. As Messi matured physically, his body began reacting to the pressure. He suffered 3 separate injuries that season, missing over 2 months total. Like in his youth, Messi rushed back too soon. His diet and recovery routines needed change. Still, when he played, he was brilliant. He drifted inward more, creating as well as scoring. He ended the season with 16 goals and numerous assists. In the 2008 Ballon d'Or voting, he placed 3rd behind Cristiano Ronaldo and Kaká. Still, when he played, he was brilliant. He drifted inward more, creating as well as scoring. He ended the season with 16 goals and numerous assists. In the 2008 Ballon d'Or voting, he placed 3rd behind Cristiano Ronaldo and Kaká. In the Champions League semifinals, Messi met Ronaldo's Manchester United for the first time. It was a low-scoring tie, but Messi stood out with his movement and control. Barca lost narrowly, though Messi's performances earned him praise. By season's end, Barcelona were trophyless and third in La Liga. The era of Deco, Ronaldinho, Eto'o, and Rijkaard was ending, but their influence on Messi was significant, especially Ronaldinho's mentorship during Messi's formative years. A new era begins, Guardiola and growth. As change swept through the Camp Nou, Pep Guardiola, a former Barca legend with no first-team coaching experience, was appointed manager. Ronaldinho and Deco were sold. Eto'o was placed on the transfer list, but earned his place back. Messi respected Guardiola as a player, but doubted him as a coach. Their early interactions were tense. Guardiola demanded intense discipline, strict tactical roles, and sharp communication. Then came a turning point. Messi wanted to play in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, which clashed with Champions League qualifiers. Guardiola initially refused, but to show trust, Pep changed his stance and allowed Messi to go. In Beijing, Messi helped Argentina win gold, beating Brazil 3-0 in the semifinals and Nigeria in the final. It was his first senior international title. A system built for a star. Back at Barcelona, Guardiola's system began taking shape. Messi returned just in time for the start of La Liga. The results weren't instant, but the players believed in Pep's methods. Pep assigned Messi defensive duties while giving him freedom in attack. He introduced dietitians and personalized training to prevent injuries, something Messi desperately needed. Guardiola's approach, combined with Rijkaard's earlier trust and Masia's foundational lessons, completed Messi's evolution into a complete footballer. During Pep's first season, Messi primarily played on the right wing, but Barcelona's high press and constant possession gave him frequent chances to score. By January, he had already matched his goal tally from the previous season. His physical strength, balance, and composure had dramatically improved. His finishing also reached a new level. Penalties, volleys, chips, and tight-angle shots became routine. As the 2008-09 season unfolded, Messi wasn't just Barcelona's star. He was their future. By the 2008-09 season, everything at Barcelona had clicked. The team was cohesive, unstoppable, and playing a brand of football the world had rarely seen. In the Champions League quarterfinals, they scored 4 goals in one half against Bayern Munich. Messi was the centerpiece, scoring twice and assisting another. Though he came second in the Ballon d'Or behind Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi had helped Barcelona reach the semi-finals of both the Copa del Rey and the Champions League. In La Liga, they faced a decisive clash at the Santiago Bernabeu against a red-hot Real Madrid side managed by Juan de Ramos. With only 4 points separating the two, Guardiola had a plan. Pep showed Messi footage of Madrid's central defenders and proposed a bold move. Messi would play centrally as a false 9. Henry and Eto'o would stay wide, drawing defenders out of position. Messi would drop deep to exploit the gaps. The plan worked perfectly. Barcelona destroyed Madrid 6-2 in their own stadium, a historic result. Messi wouldn't play as a false 9 again until later that year, but the seed was planted. The Champions League semi-final against Chelsea was tough. Chelsea's physical style stifled Barcelona. In the infamous second leg, with the clock ticking, Messi found Iniesta for a last-minute equalizer. Barca were in the final. Before the Champions League final, Messi helped Barcelona defeat Athletic Bilbao in the Copa del Rey. He scored and assisted, lifting the team to their second trophy. La Liga was already secured. Now came the big one: Barcelona versus Manchester United. Messi's first Champions League final appearance. It was also billed as the ultimate showdown between Messi and Ronaldo. Guardiola mirrored the tactics from the Bernabeu, moving Messi centrally. Eto'o scored the opener, and Barca took control. Then Messi, despite being average most of the game, scored a beautiful header, silencing critics who said he couldn't score against English teams. Barcelona completed the treble. Messi was the top scorer in the competition with 9 goals. He added 23 in La Liga and 38 overall, with 19 assists in 51 matches. At just 21 years old, Messi had arrived at the peak. Zlatan arrives, Eto'o leaves. Heading into the 2009-10 season, Pep decided Messi would now play regularly through the middle. Eto'o didn't want to play wide, so he was sold to Inter Milan in a deal that brought Zlatan Ibrahimovic to Barcelona. Zlatan, a different type of striker, liked to drop deep for the ball, which often clashed with Messi's central drifting. While both started the season well, scoring consistently, it was evident that the chemistry wasn't perfect. Barcelona secured the UEFA Super Cup and Supercopa de España. In December, Messi scored with his chest in extra time to beat Estudiantes in the Club World Cup final, securing a historic sextuple. Messi won the 2009 Ballon d'Or and the FIFA World Player of the Year. But cracks began to show. Barca exited the Copa del Rey early in January. Pep noticed Messi's form dip, especially in a match against Stuttgart. Messi was doing too much defensively and ineffective on the wing, so Pep made the call. Messi would play as a false 9 again. The result? Barca beat Stuttgart 4-0. Messi scored twice. The position unlocked everything. In the quarterfinals against Arsenal, Zlatan started the first leg and scored twice, despite limited connection with the team. In the second leg, Pep moved Messi back to the center. What followed was legendary. Messi scored 4 goals, eliminating Arsenal single-handedly. The Zlatan problem. Despite scoring consistently, Zlatan's style didn't mesh with Pep's system. Against Inter Milan in the Champions League semi-final, Pep started Zlatan and pushed Messi wide. Mourinho's Inter shut them down in both legs. Even when Zlatan was subbed and Messi moved centrally, it was too late. Zlatan later criticized the tactics, famously saying, "It's like buying a Ferrari and driving it like a Fiat." There were no personal issues between him and Messi, but the football didn't fit. Messi never asked for Zlatan to leave, but it became clear one had to go. Zlatan was sold. Barcelona still won La Liga with 99 points. Messi scored 34 league goals and 47 in all competitions, with 12 assists. It was another record-breaking season. National disappointment? The Maradona era. Messi had tasted international success in youth competitions, winning the U20 World Cup in 2005 and Olympic gold in 2008. But with the senior team, frustration grew. By 2010, he was the undisputed star of Argentina. The national team struggled under coach Alfio Basile, and Diego Maradona, outspoken as ever, criticized Messi, saying he played for himself. To silence him, the federation hired Maradona as head coach. He gave Messi the legendary number 10 shirt after Riquelme's retirement, but tactical chaos ensued. Under Maradona, Argentina were inconsistent. They lost 6-1 to Bolivia and barely qualified for the World Cup. Messi was misused, playing in disjointed systems without support. Still, at the 2010 World Cup, Argentina won all 3 group stage matches. Messi captained the team against Greece. He credited Maradona for giving him confidence. But the problems remained. In the round of 16, Argentina beat Mexico 3-1, but the system was fragile. In the quarterfinal against Germany, the team collapsed, losing 4-0. Messi failed to score a single goal in the tournament. Under Maradona, Messi had only 3 goals in 16 appearances. The backlash in Argentina was brutal. He was accused of being unpatriotic, of not caring, of playing for Europe. It was the first major wave of criticism in his career. Many questioned whether he'd ever lead Argentina to glory. But for Messi, the journey was just beginning. After the 2010 World Cup setback, Messi didn't fade. He rose even higher. Ballon d'Or domination. From 2010 to 2012, Messi became Barcelona's focal point under Guardiola. He broke records, scored 73 goals in one season, and won 3 straight Ballon d'Ors. In 2012, he became Barca's all-time top scorer. Even as Guardiola departed, Messi's brilliance endured. MSN era and more trophies with Neymar and Suarez. Messi led Barcelona to another treble in 2015. He added his 5th Ballon d'Or in 2016, proving he was still unmatched. National heartbreaks. Despite finals in 2014, 2015, and 2016, international trophies eluded him. Messi briefly retired after missing a penalty in the Copa América final, but returned after fans rallied. Club turmoil and a painful goodbye in 2020. After years of boardroom issues and a humiliating 8-2 loss to Bayern, Messi tried to leave Barcelona. The club blocked it. He stayed, but the bond was broken. PSG and reinvention. In 2021, financial issues forced his exit. Messi joined PSG. After a slow start, he helped them win the league and returned to form by 2022. World champion at last in Qatar 2022, Messi led Argentina to World Cup glory. He scored 7 goals, including 2 in the final, and finally secured the one trophy he had long chased. The world hailed him as the GOAT. Legacy in America. In 2023, Messi joined Inter Miami, elevating soccer's status in the U.S. He won the League's Cup and became the league's biggest star. By 2025, he's still playing, preparing for a final shot at World Cup glory in 2026. The eternal icon. Messi's journey from Rosario to World Cups and MLS is more than trophies. It's about passion, persistence, and humility. He's not just the greatest of all time, he's eternal. And that is the incredible journey of Lionel Messi. From a small boy in Rosario to the greatest player the world has ever seen. If this story inspired you, imagine what's coming next. Hit that like button to show your love. Subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment of greatness. And share this video with someone who needs a little Messi magic in their life. But wait, we're just getting started. Coming up next, the mind-blowing success story of Elon Musk, the man who's building rockets, revolutionizing cars, and reshaping our future. So stay tuned and remember, every legend starts with a dream. You could be next. See you in the next story.